Off Track, episode 31. Is that right, boys? 31?
Yes, sir.
31.
Yes, sir.
We made it. We are in episode 31. We are here with the usual suspects, Mr. Deacon Wong, Mr. Pizza Man, and we have a special guest from the city of Salt Lake, a.k.a. Salt Lake City. Mr. SKRT Reynolds, Mr. Chase Davis of the FOAD gang. Round of applause, everybody.
Big round. As always.
I've been looking forward to it, and I was actually a teeny bit stressed when you reached out to me, but it'd be great. I have done my research a little bit more, so I'm not as blind. And I'm cool with you guys. You're the homies, so.
Yeah, just consider it as a nice conversation with your buddies.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I've never done a podcast. This is my first experience with that. I even have done some trick tutorials that are a little, talking on camera is hard, man. You don't realize how hard it is, so you have to do it.
Well, the reason I reached out to you is obviously we would want to talk to you and dig into you as a person, but I feel like there is very few pieces of content that involves you talking.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is true. I feel like the first time I met you was the first time I heard you spoke. Everything else, I've never.
He's a mysterious lad. You're kind of mysterious.
Yeah.
And we've also, all of our previous guests have been legacy guests, I feel like. And
True.
I thought it's time to get somebody, not that some of the previous people aren't in the now, but somebody who I would consider a modern day writer. And that's Mr. Chase. So,
thank you. I appreciate that. Those are kind words. It's a lovely time to be in fixed gear freestyle and fixed gear in general. I feel that it's getting popular again almost. It has ups and downs, and it's been in a down for a while. But at present, I swear, dude, I see them around town, grocery store, on campuses, particularly downtown, and even in Salt Lake itself, we have a bunch of new diversity that is super sick for the scene.
New diversity, as in just more fixed gear riders, or what do you mean by that exactly?
Dude, it's crazy. FOAD is not the only crew in Salt Lake anymore.
No shot.
Whoa, you got competition? You got beef?
No, we're tight. It's really, really cool. But it's new generations and people that have, never tried fixed gear freestyle or bunny hopping their track bike. It's so cool to have been around long enough to see it in its full circle this time.
How did you find out about this new crew? And are you actually riding with them? How's that going?
It's sick, dude. So I am not nearly as active as I should be. I would say Jackson is the most active within these other groups. And I think I saw them on Instagram first, and it was a group of 5 people on fixies. And then all of a sudden, it's whoa, that's a fucking gang over there. They have 10 people rolling deep, and everybody has cool bikes, and they're super stoked on fixed gears. And it makes me feel very joyous almost, because there's new stuff going on, and it's not just me and the FOAD boys.
So
and we're all better. So they have Friday Night Fix, and it's every Friday they go on a group ride. And it's always sometimes it's far, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's hot laps around the park for preparation of a crit or something of that nature. It is sick, dude. There's a ton going on, and we also have a really neat bike polo collective, and they are very competitive. They have tournaments all the time.
Dang.
And I've been invited to that stuff, and I'm probably gonna go check that out. I think it looks kind of fun.
That's another thing I've always wanted to do, and I feel like if I went with J-Ball, we'd probably end up having to fight our way out of there. Because I don't know if you know this about J-Ball, but that's a competitive boy right there.
He is.
And when he starts losing, man, that man gets he gets pretty heated.
Dude,
But he's like a silent killer. He won't show it, but you can see it out of him when he starts to really compete.
I'm just waiting, bro. I'm waiting for Wes rolling down the court and that man's polo handle just going right through the enemy spokes, bro. and then we're scrapping, bro. We're scrapping right then and there.
Burden of it, you know. That man.
Have you joined them on the bike polo? Also, I thought bike polo was dead. That's crazy that there's a bike polo scene.
It is sick. And it's a bunch of really like down to earth, nice, just chill people. It doesn't strike me as like anybody's pompous or rude. They're all very inclusive, which is super nice. But like, it's just a cool like time to be around and to witness it. And I'm super stoked. I have not gone to a bike polo. I have been nervous, and I think I'm gonna ride the Serpent, but maybe put on some more narrow handlebars or something, like some Saudio 420s I can put on there. That'd be cool. And then go try it at least, because I've been invited like 3 times. And like last time I was like, I'm just not feeling it, you know. But I really need to, because I would love to expand my bicycle circles, I think.
So they know who you are.
Dude.
Are you a celebrity? You a celebrity over there?
Whoa.
Call me SKRT Reynolds, like at the skate park. Or one time it happened in like I was on like a trip to Orcas Island, and somebody knew who I was. And same in Seattle's happened, and so I'm hyped. You know, it does happen.
Let's go.
Fixie famous.
Damn.
Somebody bought bike parts from me at my local, and they asked me to sign it. And my first thought was like, this will steal my identity. And I was like, no, wait, just kidding. He's just stoked. I was like, you know, I was 22, so I had no clue what was happening. But dude, people are hyped, and they do pay attention, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. People are paying attention.
People know FOAD.
That's crazy.
Dude.
It also has happened at work, dude. I had a homie who was like an HVAC guy, and he's like, are you FOAD? Do you run the FOAD account? And I was like, oh, I help like contribute to it and stuff. And then he's like, my Instagram is like, you are FOAD, was the comment. And it's just like super funny, dude. People,
damn,
all variety,
you're low key getting doxxed a little bit in real life.
All right. I have a question for you, Chase. How do you feel about the current FOAD versus SMC beef going on right now? What is your opinion? Who do you think is going to be the champion of the FOAD versus SMC beef?
Bro, okay, you guys are in for a shock. Jackson is a fine-tuned killing machine. This man has been running marathons relentlessly. He's got the focus of like a starving tiger or something. He's really and I don't know. I think it's just gonna be fun. You guys are gonna be surprised. We went filming the other day, and he did like 60 tries in a row, like no breaths, no stopping. He's conditioned. He's a machine. And please remind me, what is you guys are boxing? I remember the boxing. Is it swimming and running?
There's nothing actually happening.
When is the SMC versus FOAD triathlon? Okay, that's what I want to see. That's what we came here for.
Yes, the people need to know, I think.
Yeah, Jackson.
We have a good of diversity here, and athletes, particularly a variety of athletes.
I think for Fixie history, this event should go down at the World in Long Beach. Okay, so it's you know, like you guys have the Whale-a-thon in Salt Lake, we have the World-a-thon, and it's just laps around the world at Long Beach, and then a boxing match in the middle to end the day.
That sounds brutal.
How many laps you think it would be around that tiny globe to make
it's 25 laps, a game of bike, and then a boxing match, and then it's best 2 out of 3.
Oh my!
Here's the thing, Jackson. If we're running long distance, Jackson would absolutely crush me. Jackson would put me in the dirt and put me on a fucking milk carton.
He might. Yeah, he does have the endurance on you.
I've ran 7 miles max. Like, that's the most I've ran at a time.
He's already making excuses, Jason. You need to tell Jackson now. No. You need to tell him to start honing in.
No, hear me out. This is the butt. I would fuck him up in a 100-meter dash.
That might be the case, right? But But we all know, J-Ball, you throw scissors in rock, paper, scissors, and if Jackson wins that game of bike is over, bro. He's gonna do some like stand on the pegs tricks. He's gonna dice you on the tricks,
This
bro.
needs to happen.
You're never
This
gonna
needs
be
to
able to
happen.
fight back with the run and the game of
I
bike,
would
dog.
do 4 bar spin tricks. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's why you'd have to win the rock, paper, scissors, bro. If you throw scissors, it's over.
How'd you find fixed gear? Like, how did you get into fixed gear, and what was the scene like in Salt Lake at the time?
Okay, so perspective-wise, I was probably 12 or 13. Pretty small. I was like going from 6th grade into 7th grade, and I wound up having this like group of 4 friends that I did like elementary school with, middle school, and high school with. And that friend group between 6th and 7th grade got into fixies. And one homie had a fixie, and another homie got one, and all of a sudden it was like, dude, you should get a bike. We should go ride around. It's really fun. And this was all being sparked by FOAD. I just hadn't known it at the time. So, very young kids, just cruising around all times of night, all times of like, we could try to ride to school, or on the weekends we would just hang out and like drop hills and, try to just ride downtown and have a good time. And so it was us 4. And then through that 4-person friend group, I met Jackson and Evan, which is crazy. And that was my like initial introduction into like meeting the FOAD boys and being like, even aware that people were doing like serious stunts on bikes like that. Because I was still on like a 700C bike, not particularly meant for any sort of freestyle. It did have riser bars, and like 700 by like 35C tires. And I was like, these are thick boys. I'm ready for the streets. I have a cool video to send you later also if you would like. It's like the first 4-stair that we would like. We had this path that we would cruise around, and it was this big loop, and on this loop was like a 4-stair into grass at a college campus, and we like convinced ourselves that like this is the perfect place to learn because it's into grass. You can't hurt yourself in the grass.
Yeah.
And so I mean it was interesting, and I just had a really, really great like childhood and growing up experience with bikes and FOAD gang.
Dang.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
So then when did you actually link up with Jackson and them?
Okay. Trying not to be too roundabout, but it's hard. So Jackson and Evan happened to be at the local skate park that I still live next to today. It's Fairmont Skate Park. It's like my local. It's been there. I've been there since it opened, which is awesome. I got to see like the opening of it. But I was there on a red Originate track bike with like 2 700C wheels, and I was trying to jump out of the banks, and Jackson particularly remembered me just trying to throw like the most out of control wild Keo spins I could, and I would like whip, just not one hand. I couldn't do the one-handed spin very hard, but I could hold on with both hands and get that backward pedal inertia, and it was like I was just doing like 900s or like, more at times. It was really, really cool. And I know that Jackson was aware of that and was like, yo, you should try one of these. It's like a little different, but like this is what people are doing now. And I vividly remember, dude, the first time I got to try a 26-inch bike.
Was it a Destroy?
It was a Destroy Masochist. It was, I think Jackson had the gold frame and Evan had the red frame. And like keeping in mind, I'm still in this total 700C mindset where I have like a 36 tooth, sprocket and like a 12 tooth cog or like something a little bigger in the back. So it's still very clunky, but nostalgic of fixed gear freestyle, the starting of it for me at least. And I met with them at this manual pad spot. It's like the Highland High School manual pad spot. We post clips from there. I'm sure it's been in several edits. But I met them there and tried Jackson's bike and was just blown away. I was like, how are you guys riding this? This is the most clunky and like it doesn't even feel like a fun bike.
That's how it always goes.
I was blown away. This thing, I get it was progressive for the time, but for sure it felt crazy to me. The teeny gear ratio, the pegs, I was like, what the fuck are these even for, man? Like you can't be putting these on things. And they're just going to hurt yourself. But dude, it was awesome. And I tried that and wound up being really, really intrigued enough to put 26-inch wheels on a 700C bike.
Was this
that goes into a great transition. What bike was that?
Dude, I believe I bought a state bike, like a blue state bike co, and it was marketed at 700C. But then I got a rear wheel from somewhere, and I found a front wheel from like the Bicycle Collective, and I like slapped them on this old state company frame. And
was it state FGFS frame or like a state track bike?
I think it was more marketed towards fixed gear freestyle, but it was definitely not really a freestyle bike at all. It was like still like really, really thin tubing and, you know, big wheels and fairly skinny tires. But it was marketed as like, I think, a freestyle bike. And so I swapped the wheels out, and that was my first 26-inch experience, except like the bottom bracket was so low, like you would like bottom out sometimes, like making sharp turns. Like it was so transitional and clunky.
It's crazy. Do you have footage on this bike?
There might be an edit out there, but I would be amazed. I was not interested in filming myself or my friends at this point. I was just like happy to be there and like was stoked everybody was trying wheelies and like 180s and like you know, that was what was enthralling to me. And so I just slowly started building my bike toward that, one clunky part at a time.
That reminds me, let's go back real quick. You mentioned about the current Salt Lake scene. Are you trying to like introduce tricks to them?
Dude, I cannot wait to tell you. So I got to host an event the other day so time out before I forget. It's Beehive Bike Polo, excuse me, and it's also Salt Lake City Fixed, SLC Fixed. And yeah, it's cool. It's very fun. But they had an evening. It was a Friday night fix where we met up in this big church parking lot, and I got to show people my Ruff bike code 26-inch. I got to bring I think another trick bike, and then everybody was trying track stands. Everybody was trying fakie circles and wheelies, and like, dude, these are folks who are like, you know, just riding them to work or riding them to school, and they have never tried a track stand or seen somebody do like a cool through the frame with your leg track stand and lay it down and stand it up. I felt so cool, dude. I haven't had that sort of stoke from bikes in a long time. And they were totally open and willing to try the Ruff bike, you know, and just experiment and feel it out. And it was so fun. I'm so thankful for the opportunity because it very seldom happens like that.
Dude.
Chase has unleashed the poison onto a new group of people.
Dude.
He's introduced ACL injuries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, total knee domination.
Yeah, you're grooming them.
I'm trying. But keep in mind, we're about the same age, but I have just seen it for a different period of time than they have. So like we're all roughly the same age. Like,
yeah, you're the same age, but you're fixie older.
Correct. I'm just a little farther along in my fixie.
All right. To bring you back. I feel like you're one of those people, Chase, that has had a lot of iconic bike builds. And especially through the times and through the footage of you, you're like a Pokemon character. You know, it's like, oh, there's that color frame era of Chase. There's another color frame era of Chase.
And size frames.
Yes, wheel size and frame size too, which is another big one for me. Do you have a favorite out of all those? Like color scheme, frame, the way it rides, you know, etc.
You can't say your current bike.
I know it is wonderful, and I will speak volumes about it. But this is in reference to an older whip setup. Dude, I had the Anthem with green bomb track tires, the rare green bomb track tires. That was really, really cool. And going back to it, dude, that bike was a freaking boat. It was so long. But like I could throw a bar spin at any foot position on that bike. Like literally any foot position would clear a bar spin. And I got away with a ton of crazy bar spins on that bike.
You know what's crazy too? I feel like you've actually fluctuated in seat tube size. Like you've gone down and up and down. Like,
Yeah, it's totally bizarre.
you were on a Grime Ghost, but then you went bigger to a V3.
Dude, okay, so that's a great story. I, at the time was very influenced by Grime TV, and like all the content they would put out, I was, enthralled with. And I remember when they were starting to do like orders or whatever through like Goat Bikes or something. It was black tar and China white frames you could get. And black tar was sold out, and I remember Isaac Service bought one. He bought a medium, and then I was like, I'm gonna get the small because I can do it. Why not? And I got the small, and I took it out of the box, and I was like, oh my god, it's a dirt jumper bike. Like, this is crazy. It was totally different than anything I had ever ridden. And so if you look at that bike, I had the seat post like woof, like way out of the frame.
Yeah.
Tiny frame.
But it was cool. I still have it. I got it and I rode it for a little while. I put a bunch of really sick stickers on it, and then I snapped the head tube off and had somebody weld it back on and rode it again because I'm crazy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Wait, random question. Going back to the, you said it was the concept? No, it was the Anthem. Was that the one you sold me?
No. The Anthem.
I was gonna say, that's a piece of history.
I snapped the Grime Ghost, and so I had a Break 17 fork with a Grime Ghost. It was a small Ghost, and I remember one day just poof, like the front end just like blew off, and I was like, "Whoa! I'm so lucky I didn't like smash my face." And I took it to a welder, had him weld it, and then tried to ride it again. I was like, "This does not feel quite the same." So I moved on from that. But you're right. I went 27.2, which was the Grime Ghost, and then didn't have a bike, and was like, "Well, I'll just probably wait for a minute. I'll wait till I can buy a bicycle," because I was big on like trying to do it myself. As a little kid at the time, that was important. And so I was like, I'm going to go mow some lawns. I'm going to get some money.
That's respectable.
Bike. And instead, Jackson found out that I snapped my Grime Ghost. And he was like, dude, you can't stop riding. What are you talking about? And he like pulled up on me and just gave me the Unknown V3. He's like, dude, ride this at least in the meantime till you get a bike. Don't stop. And he was, I would definitely say, my first like sponsor. He put me on so many times, so many parts, so much help working on my bike and like my style of stuff. And so he really put me on and just gave me that bike so I wouldn't be without one, and kept me rolling.
And you rode that for a while too. And
I have some sick photos I'll send you from riding that bike.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like you were more comfortable on that bike than the Anthem for bar spins. True or false?
Probably true, just because of the seat. The seat on the Unknown, I could slam it all the way into the frame, and it was still like way higher than my Anthem seat had ever been. I don't know what happened with the Unknown. It was like the perfect weight or something. It was a very lightweight frame, and I was just madly riding it. I loved it. It was, probably the favorite bike to date.
V3's built it up the slept on frame.
It is very slept on. I built it up for nostalgia's purpose the other day, and it does not feel quite how I remember. but I like straight up, I could do tricks on that bike that I have difficulty doing even now on my Ruff bike. And I have really cool photos of like, airing out over like full like garbage cans, full height garbage cans, and a bunch of cool stuff that like I'm glad I documented, or at least my friends were willing to document for me. And but I'm also glad that I have progressed to the bike I'm on now.
And I mean, look, you can ride a Serpent pretty damn well. So I mean, that means you can probably ride anything, because Serpents are not the most
they're
the most.
Dude, thank you. Go ahead.
Those fuckers are boats. Like Serpents are a damn boat, and they're heavy. And yeah, you ride that shit pretty well.
Thank you, man. I'm sure you guys probably know. I got that from X-Rip Cream, right? He was super active, and I hope he's okay. I haven't seen him or him post anything.
I have news for you. I'm sorry to stop your story.
Go ahead.
He DM'd me a month ago and asked if I still rode FGFS.
Oh, damn.
Yo,
That means he
you
has
should
not been paying attention.
investigate.
So
Yeah,
I
that's crazy.
messaged him and I asked him, and I was like, "Hey, I know you had a kid, a couple years ago. Do you still have your collection?" And the last response I got was, "Of course I do." And then he hasn't responded to me since.
That means he's got the ultimate grime collection.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That dude had all the grime.
But you were going on about extra whipped cream in your serpent.
Dude, he put it up for sale one day, and I saw it, and I was like, in my heart, because I was one sec, I was really interested in Ninja Cats London, as well as like Oscar Khan, Saul, those guys, and I remember very well Saul's serpent edit, and I was like, that thing is fucking intense. That thing is built for abuse, and Extra Whipped Cream had this beautiful bike, and I was like, dude, I can't just let that one go. I'm too curious. And I got it, and I rode it for like an hour, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is expert mode. It's fun. It's super fun, but the first time I set it up, I actually disassembled it the next day. I was like, this is the worst build. And I wound up putting like nicer parts on, and that made it way more fun to ride. And I filmed like a whole little clip edit deal on it. It's sick. It's a really fun bike. But it'll probably just be one of those that I randomly whip out, or if there's a homie in town that wants to ride, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the homie cruiser.
I definitely
Yes.
feel like every person that used to own a 700C Charmer purchased the Serpent thinking it would be dope, and then immediately switched back to the 700C Charmer.
Yeah, like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that 700C Charmer was a good bike. And
Now, after that, do you remember the next frame that you had after? There's a special moment, I feel like, in what happened after you had your Anthem and then your Unknown. Well, do you remember the next frame that you had after that? Going back into down the history books.
Okay, so and I
could tell you.
Totally
I could
wrong.
tell you. Mm-hmm.
What is it? Tell me. Do you know?
I think I know this
I'm
one.
looking at it right now. Okay, go ahead. I feel like J-Ball should know it, but
Well,
that's cheating because he's the encyclopedia.
I'm pretty sure Jackson gave you an old Ruff frame.
Yes. He gave me
what about
rough
what about the Capone?
Oh.
Oh, good heavens. Okay.
We both forgot about that.
Adventure. Dude, okay, so time out. Before we get too far, I think the order would have been like, I tried to write this down. I bought two no name fixed gears off of eBay for $300, and I bought them like a month apart from each other because I just killed the fork on the first one, and then I got the second one and kind of like made this zombie bike. I had like spare parts and stuff. I broke both of those and pretty much was like, okay, I need a better bike. And then I bought the State Bike Co. that got eventually switched to 26. I think after that, it could have been like I had a Red Origin 8 maybe right before that. There's a whole list of bikes I have right here, but I think it went like P-Fix, Ghost, Unknown.
Oh wait, you had a
Rough
P-Fix.
Proto. I have a grip of P-Fixes. I have like 3 right now. 3 frames.
What the
and then the
fuck?
parts from all of them.
You don't
I know,
remember him? He was like the proponent P-Fix rider, dude. On the first all the first FOAD videos and stuff, he was riding a P-Fix.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's why he famously always had the P-Fix rear hub.
That's
Yes,
true.
I have
That's
a
true.
bunch right now. We have a couple friends also that work at Specialized, and as I've been like cleaning out the back, like, yo, I found this wheel. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes, please. And
Oh.
I've gotten like a bunch of axles and like a couple wheels.
You got the hookup. Sorry,
Yes, dude.
I interrupted you mid list.
Oh, you're good, dude. And it's kind of a blurry list because it, again, foggy childhood memory. But it happened also pretty quick. I killed my first 4 bikes, just totally, whether it was the head tube snapping or a fork folding or like the P-Fix. I bent the rear triangle on 3 of them. Dude, it was a very fast progression, but I roughly eBay fixies, and then the blue State Company bike, Red Origin 8, perhaps Unknown, and then P-Fix, and then I don't know. I have like a grip of bikes I've been through, and I can't even keep it straight.
Shit. Well, yeah. After that, it looked like you got yourself a Capone.
Yellow.
Now the yellow, yes, the Grime Goat yellow Capone. Which props to you on that one because I would have also chose that one if I was a Capone around the Capone when it came out. So yeah,
That was interesting. It was super sick. Like, they reached out to me, and I was like, absolutely, that sounds awesome, And like, I think at the time they were in the process of either, or they were already on the team, but like Steven Jensen was on there and Mike Schmidt was on there as well. And so the dude from Capone sent me 3 frames, and I sent them out to Mike and the other boys.
Steven?
It was just him. Yes, just Steven and Schmidt. But it was wild, dude. That was a super, super cool bike. I still have it. There's a bunch of cool stickers on it. I would say that was the most like progressive bike that I had hopped on. It was like a BMX bike, and the rear length was so short, dude. Like when you were sitting on it, you're like on top of the back tire. Like it was so sick. It had really bad bar spin clearance. You'd have to throw it in like the perfect window of the pedal stroke. Otherwise, you're smashing your toes and not catching the bars. But it was very progressive.
I feel like you had bad luck with frame company sponsors for a bit. Like you got sponsored by Anthem and then Anthem disappeared. You got sponsored by Capone and then Capone disappeared.
Dude, I am so fortunate that I even was on the radar for any of that. And like so thankful that like it put me on this trajectory of like knowing people and knowing the scene. And I'm ecstatic I got to do that at all. But it's wild how it did turn out. I think Capone just vanished. And that I had a weird thing happen too. After Capone vanished, there was a dude who would like harass me in my DMs and be like, "You're not the real Capone. I'm the real Capone." And he was like super weird, and I like had to block him. I was like, "Oh, this dude is like too out there
What
to
the
reason with."
fuck?
Capone beef, real Capone beef.
That was Al Capone himself.
It was, dude. But so that was interesting. The Anthem deal was also really interesting. I'll give you the inside scoop. I think the dude's name is Paul.
Good old Paul, Royal HC.
Oh, good old
yes. And he was always pretty like cordial with me. And then one day I put Ruff bars on my Anthem bike, and he sent me like a real heated DM and was just like, "Yo, you should be riding the company's parts. The Anthem antler bars are better," and was like really furious with me. Keep in mind, I'm not that old. I am like a kid still, and he was pissed. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm sorry. I'll go put the antler bars on right now." And I put them back on, and I was like, "These are awful. I bent them already. I am furious that I have to ride these handlebars," and just like that he would give me a hard time about it. I can't even believe it. And
shoulder surgery in the middle of your...
Okay. I also, I had a bunch of crazy shoulder problems, dude. I kept dislocating my left shoulder, as a lot of like fixie people do. Like, you just have bad shoulders, it's part of the deal. And so in between all that, I was getting shoulder surgeries and trying to just like keep up so I could ride my bike, because that was like my like personal thing that I really enjoyed. And the Anthem bike was a really nice gateway bike, and totally like it was pretty snappy, but it was just a little long. Was my only like.
They had two versions. One was longer, one was shorter.
Yes, that's true. Like was it compact or what was it? Like?
The Ritual was the longer one. The Comply was the shorter one.
Yes, and then immediately after we had this conflict, he like, I think I just kind of got like put off the team type of thing, and he immediately put Miguel on, which is kudos, running the game. I get it, He put Miguel on, and there was another homie who just had a freewheel that he would ride on the Anthem bike, but he was also sponsored.
Yeah, It's So Baz.
IZ something. Yes, excellent. I can't believe you remember that, dude.
Yeah, he was sick. Steven Jensen was on.
I think.
Jensen was on Anthem too. That was a weird period. What's funny? I can give you some insight on that riding the Ruff bars. Why that pissed him off so much.
Sure.
Paul hated Matt.
Oh. Okay. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Paul
I was gonna say.
Paul had beef with like everybody in Long Beach, and
True.
Matt, obviously being in Long Beach and at Fixie Factory, like just rubbed him the wrong way because Matt started stealing Elliot from Royal filming for like unknown filming and stay strap filming. So then he pulled Elliot away from Paul's grasp, and Paul did not like that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it happened again.
It happened again. Everybody, Paul,
Big picture.
Paul loses everyone to Matt.
Yeah, man.
Damn, that's crazy
What
to
an
do
interesting
that.
time.
That's crazy to like harass a fucking however old you were, like 18-year-old about that shit.
And I was worried. I was worried at the time. I was like, this is a great, this is a cool bike and a cool company. Like, I don't want to piss him off or anything, but at the time I thought it was important. Now I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Good.
you didn't have a contract or anything.
Don't worry, Chase.
Yeah.
Everybody hated Anthem bars. Everybody who bought Anthem bars was pissed that they bought Anthem bars.
Yeah.
I think so, dude. Did yours bend? Did you guys buy any?
Mine came bent. They were like unknown bars. I was
Nice.
bent.
Out the box bent. I didn't know they actually had that many bending problems.
Definitely.
It's because they were super long. They were like Yoeli's, where they were like 36 wide, so you could cut them down, and then nobody cut them down.
Yeah. For real.
Okay, on the topic of bikes, let's progress the story a little bit. Getting sponsored by Ruff. Talk to us about how that went down. We all saw the sweet video that Jacob Ruff posted of you getting on.
Yeah. Yes, dude. So, Jacob is like the most thoughtful person in fixed gear freestyle, I think.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
when he we had been on like one other trip together or something, and I knew that like he was hyped, and he was hyped on bikes, and I was hyped on bikes, and like he's always been so kind to me. And like my wife and I stayed at his home once when we were in town, and like he's always been just like a top tier gentleman, like absolutely. And we were, I think we were on a trip out to like Orcas Island, and I actually like proposed to her on this trip. And like, but on the way there or something, we stopped. She was telling me it's a different trip, but I essentially stopped. I essentially stopped in Seattle just to ride for like an afternoon. And Jacob was like, "Yo, I built up this spare bike for you, dude. It's 2510. I know that's what you're riding these days." He built up this solid, like super cool spare bike, and I'm sure you've seen Jacob's collection. It's an immaculate collection. And go ahead,
I've never seen it in person, honestly.
dude.
I need to.
The man has bikes and good bikes. I think I've seen like photos and some cool builds, but he just provided a rough build for the day, and we went out and filmed a few clips, and he surprised me at the very last spot. I was like warming up for a trick, and like not even. I was in more of like a trick mindset, right? And I kind of go into this weird like catatonic, like I'm in the trick spot, and he pulled out like some balloons in a box and was just. Oh yeah, I was oblivious, as really oblivious, dude. He gave me like cue cards to read, and I was like, oh, I have one of these, and I'm whatever. Like, then this is my bike. I'm like, oh shoot, dude. And so he literally just went like the extra mile to surprise me, and like, dude, put me on, and just we have been homies since. I'm so thankful for him and his efforts and contributions to fixed gear freestyle.
Oh shit.
You know what's so funny? In that video, it's almost like you didn't realize what was happening at all.
I was just reading it. And stressed in front of the camera.
You didn't even have a clue.
You were literally just reading the cue cards.
Why am I
and,
doing this? I don't know. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, like he asked, like sure.
I need to see that video.
It's on the Jacob Ruff YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it later for sure.
It was so wholesome too, because like you could tell it was genuinely a surprise to you, and it was like you open the box and you're just like reading these, and you're like,
so silly.
I loved it.
oh shit.
Yeah, dude. I definitely realized and was then embarrassed and like stoked, and like, dude, that's a really big day for me because like I had been riding, without a sponsor, and that you don't need a sponsor to ride by any means, but it's like a certain validation that's like, wow, dude, like I'm gonna keep trying, but I have tried enough to get like on the radar, and it felt really, really, really good and validating for me.
Yeah, you deserved that pretty hard. I feel like a lot of us were like, dude, when's Chase specifically going to get on Ruff? Because you were going on a lot of trips with them too, and you've been featured in Ruff videos, and you went to Albuquerque, I think, with the gang. Is that right?
Yes, it was New Mexico or something. It was sick, dude. I think that was like maybe one of the first trips where like it was like just Jackson and I think, and we went out to like Matt's, and like Elliot lived like next door or something sick, and it was these like wild little apartments, and like our objective was just to go ride, and it was so sick because it was like get up, get a snack, and it's business. We're going out to film, and it's an adventure somewhere I've never been. And Matt's a very like spot oriented guy. He has a plan, and he is like, I think this would be good at this spot. He has like a vision for you as to what you would probably be decent at doing at this spot. And so he just took us to cool spots and like had a ball. I remember I did a rail. He was like, I think you could do this rail, dude. It's pretty like, it was only like a 9 stair or something, but it was enough to be scary where like if you fall, like you're definitely gonna be messed up. And it's, cactuses and fucking shit everywhere. And like, he was like, Congo's been looking at it, but he hasn't done it yet. I was like, oh, it's on. I can try. And I got it like first try, and I was like, oh.
Was it the Feeble?
Like, no, that was also that trip, I believe. But this was like, it was like so hot, dude. It's 100 degrees out there like all the time, it seems like. But I remember just being really scared of this bigger rail, and I'll have to find. I'm sure there's documentation of it.
Yeah, what video was that in? I don't remember this clip.
I think maybe Snowbirds or something. Maybe like I don't know, dude. I'll have to ask Jackson because he'd probably recall. It was a really great trip, though, dude.
Yeah, you also had Steven Jensen and Mike Schmidt on that trip, I think, right?
I don't know if I got to ride with them. I'm sure I like said hi and got to like hang out around them, but like I was like shy and probably didn't say much.
Yeah, fair. What was your first encounter with like bigger fixed gear culture, like people outside of just Salt Lake?
Okay, this is sick too. So when I think Evan was like 18, maybe like I think he had just finished school or something. And I remember Matt came to stay with him, and Jacob Santos came to stay with him. And they both were staying at Evan's house, and it was just like a fixie lair in the basement. And we would just like watch cool fixie videos on Evan's iMac that had like all the stickers along the edges, like log stickers and just cool fixed gear freestyle stickers. And obviously having those guys there is like, they're also on a mission. And so I watched them do the most like current fixed gear freestyle I had ever seen. It was Matt and Jacob Santos. I watched Jacob Santos drop into a ramp off like the neighbor's roof, and I was just like, that's the most hyped thing I've seen ever. Like I'm trying that one day. And so dude, I saw those guys riding, and I was like, time out. This is different, and that's a different level of riding.
Yeah, that was for Jacob's Fixed America tour, I think.
Dude, I don't recall, but I believe you.
Probably. Did you guys? Is there a Woodward out there or somewhere near there?
We got one recently, not within that time frame.
What have you been? Did you go to any of the riding styles?
No, that was a teeny bit before my time. I was probably still like 11 or 12 or something when that happened.
Oh, here's a question. Why SKRT Reynolds?
Jackson had edited a photo of me with these cool, like, round sunglasses. And it was, like, me edited into, like, Burt Reynolds' face type of thing. And I was like, SKRT Reynolds, obviously. Originally, it was Chaser Davis.
Yeah, is your?
Okay.
I think I remember that. And then Skirt Reynolds was a little jarring.
Yeah, just a total plot twist. But I can't change it now. I've been tagged in too much stuff. It's I can't.
It's true.
But and also, yeah, the whole like people do know. I have been called Skirt Reynolds in public by people I don't know. Like,
yeah, you're in too deep to change.
Oh yeah, I'm in deep waters. I am.
Imagine having to tell people it's not Skirt Reynolds anymore.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I went from J Ballin to JBVLL, and that kind of fucked me up because a lot of like old YouTube videos had like the wrong tag now and stuff.
I definitely think I had the smoothest IG name conversion. I think the change was appreciated to most people. They were like, "Oh shit, we can find this fucker now."
Yeah, Duke Man, because it makes sense because we've just been calling you Duke Man for years.
The transition was easy.
We make it look easy.
Yeah,
now, let's be real. Now imagine I change my IG.
No, you don't fucking do that. Never.
No edits, a man. I think it would fit.
Hey, sued, man. You never know.
No hit rails, a man.
Edit coming soon, a man.
There you go.
And no pizza for the record. We're not debuting it again. You don't get that.
We aren't.
You don't get the re-debut.
No, I'm.
What? No, it wasn't the debut though. That was like a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Truth.
We're not doing second premiere. What I want to do is I want to drop it before the comp.
Okay, well we have to go out. Are you next weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, next weekend is when we do it.
We get a bar spin. We find a bank.
J-Ball, you have to take him back to the spot that we won't talk about, and you have to leave your bike at home.
Oh fuck!
You can't bring your bike back to that spot. That's a no-go for you now.
Chase, we're talking. Did you see me split my shin open on the 180 crook rail?
I think you did send that. I think I have witnessed some crazy shin stuff.
Yeah, I split my shin open trying to 180 crook a rail, and this is the rail we're talking about. We want pizza to hit it.
I think you've sent a photo, like pretty low.
Yeah, it's a pretty
100p. Like, let's get you some pads, and we'll get you some beta blockers. And you won't be even a little worried.
100 pizzas.
Yeah, right.
And I know you can do it. Like I trust you. I know you can do it. You just have to like believe in yourself, and unfortunately, probably fall like twice. That's part of the deal.
That's true. I have been doing better about falling and doing things, so we'll see.
Man,
though
we saw that crook at Vans, bro. You got it. Just fucking dice that shit.
Just crook
that's a small little rail, bro. That's a small.
One at the street spot is the same height, bro. It's literally the Stanton rail. It was so small. J-Ball said, "I'm a 180 crook," and he bunny hopped over the damn thing.
That's because J-Ball is the man with the 100 meter height, 100 bunny hop. That's why he can do that.
100 meters would be crazy.
Whatever
Pizza,
it is,
let's keep it a buck, bro.
Is,
let's keep it a buck. I got the biggest fat boy pop out of everybody here. Okay, I got the lowest motherfucking bunny hops out of everybody, and I made it on that rail.
You did. It's true. You did do that. You're right.
I am the king of mids biking. Okay, that's my own category. I'm mids biker. Okay.
It's true, dude. I'm catching up to you a little bit, but you know.
Pizza's been
no shot, baby. Hit my line when you hit the 18 stair, bro.
The problem is, Deacon, you've elevated above the mids biking.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I won't accept any of these allegations. I will forever be a mids biker.
You're too good now.
We can go back to edit. We can go back to Deacon edit. Sponsor Deacon.
Sponsor Deacon.
Hell yeah.
I don't need no sponsors.
Hey, Chase, why aren't you running marathons with the gang?
I have committed to try the next marathon. I used to run a ton for wrestling and just like general like wrestling oriented, like losing weight and stuff, and I just don't like it anymore. But it is an avenue that they are pursuing quite persistently.
They're nuts.
So I think they're nuts, dude. It's insane. And they'll do like a marathon and then just like chill out for a day and they're fine. But I feel like in my heart, if I did a marathon, I'd be like wrecked for like a few days at least,
Same.
walking weird type of thing.
I don't understand the recovery time. It makes no sense to me.
J-Ball, can I vote for the use of Patreon funds?
For what?
SMC goes to Whale-a-thon 2025.
Yeah, let's go. Jackson flew me out last year.
And then Jackson can present FOAD Whale-a-comp.
We do a trick comp on the whale circle.
Oh shit!
Wild.
And then afterwards, you take us to New Van's facility out there because I heard it's tight.
It's fun.
Yeah,
we do.
Let's go.
We have a bunch of action sports stuff like popping up. I mentioned, I think Woodward Park City has opened in the last few years. They have like 4 outdoor skate parks and a nice indoor skate park, foam pits that you can practice stuff. And then we also have like the Vans Park. We have other indoor parks opening too. Like we just had an Olympic BMX park type thing open, and it's like all the gnarly BMX kids in Utah are training there, and it's really cool.
Are you going?
Yeah. I need to go to Woodward to learn a couple things, but we'll see. You never know. I can't stop learning.
Sounds like we got to go see Chase at Salt Lake City.
Take us park tour.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be so fun. Are you kidding?
SLC park tour.
Spots, dude. Jackson and I have got skate parks and spots.
Do you prefer park or street?
Street. It's way more okay. Respectfully, the park is awesome to learn. I was a park rat for like the first decade or like 8 years or so, and then I started like really appreciating street because it's like it's not meant for any of the stuff you're doing on it or around it, and it's like so much cooler to me for some reason. I'll take a street mid clip over like a skate park like harder clip sometimes, depending on the scenario, obviously. But I think street is where it's at, and I think that we got to get some of these shredders out there.
Who's your vote for this year? Somebody who hasn't dropped an edit yet, obviously not including Pizza because you've already seen his, but who needs an edit that you haven't seen an edit from?
Snow.
True.
Fair enough.
I would love that. I would also say I'd really like maybe just like more, like riding around San Francisco, because they seem to have a super sick like rolling deep crew. I'd love to see more footage from out there. I'd like to see an edit from Mike Beto.
Oh,
dang,
okay.
That's a good one. That's a good.
It's a deep cut.
I'm just saying he's solid. He's out there, and like I'd love to see an edit from him. Dude, there's so many good edits out lately, at least.
He's like holding it down single-handedly for New York.
Truly, yeah. And it's cool because like I know that there's origins over there, like Hella Killa Randy Rush. He's out there like announcing some of the events and shit. There's also a homie, I'm blanking on his name. I think it's like Adrian or something. But he can do like he could do hang fives going backward. He's like the only dude that I've ever seen do that.
You're talking about the ephemeral dude who's out there, right?
No, dude, this is another dude that I'll have to go like lurk on Instagram. He has like a cool lip piercing right here. It's like a hoop, but he's like one of the only dudes I've seen that does like fakey hang fives.
Oh no,
New York. I would love to go just see some of that.
You're talking about an LA guy. You're talking about Adrian. You know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Deacon?
Red bike,
I think so, dude.
red bike, black wheels.
The homie. He came out. He came out with a cinema camera at Suck My Comp at MLK.
Oh, my homie Adrian?
Our homie Adrian.
Yeah. He's
I thought
insane.
he was out there for some reason, but I don't know. I want to see people like that I have not seen content from. I'd love to see people post again, man, because like Fix Your Freestyle is a tight knit little squad, and we always love to see people return, even if it's just for a little while or an edit here or there or Insta clips. I love Insta clips,
You know who my vote for needs an edit is Finn JKS.
Hell yeah.
He's
Ready
like
for mine?
Is that
he's like you.
correct?
He's an FGFS guy. He was in New York, but then he moved to Netherlands.
You ready for mine,
Sounds
J-Ball?
about
I think
sick.
all of us know mine. It's Rojo. I want the
Yeah.
Rojo edit.
That's a wonderful
The
call
most
right
slept
there.
on biker that is the most under the radar dude, but I really hope that with how much advanced knowledge of the events going on soon, that he took a day off.
I really
You're
hope
right.
he did.
He's
I
a
really hope he did.
ripper, dude. He kills it.
He's
I mean,
he's mysterious. He's elusive. We see him once every 3 years.
it's true.
Then he comes out and just kills it.
He was
talking-
killing bike parts for a while there. Like, now I think that's a really solid sign of like progression. Is like if you've gone and snapped like a couple handlebars, a few forks, like you're doing something crazy. Like, and that's definitely growth of some form.
Yeah, he broke a lot of LDG forks. Pizza, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say static, dude. I love
Yeah.
all these insta clips,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I would love to see
A real
Static-
full-blown-
The static
full-blown edit.
full length would be insane.
Yeah.
static edit would go
Seriously.
hard. I need to film him and edit.
Yeah, you do. I'll add him right now in the group. Like, hey, film and edit, and then be like, release yours first. And I'm like, all right, bet. And
Yeah, I feel
The
like
response will be throw a bar spin,
He-
and then you'll be like, I'm not gonna.
he produces when he rides. Like I could probably film and edit with him in like a few months.
Yeah.
yeah,
That dude be riding. You working on any videos right now, Chase? What's going on?
Dude, I'm filming for Ruff as always. That's like a continuous deal. You know what I mean? And whenever there's time, I'll hit Jackson up to go ride. And like lately, we went to this like spot in it's like West Valley Tracks Station is what we call it, and it's just like a weird amphitheater with some stairs. And we met up for like 3 hours. And dude, Jackson filmed like 5 or 6 clips for both Ruff and another edit we're working on.
Can you disclose?
edit?
He-
The edit.
can you-
I think I can. We're just doing a master edit, but like we're doing trick track stuff.
Yeah.
We just haven't done it for a long time, you know.
Core-Tech build, Core-Tech. Okay.
I will inform you, Chase. You're more than welcome to compete on the J-Ball signature steed. It'll be in dialed and working condition for you to compete on.
I have been thinking about that, dude, because like I didn't really try that hard in
I
the
know.
last.
We all
trick
know.
track
We all
comp.
know.
Yeah.
It's
You
fun.
and one
regardless.
other specific person.
We saw the Constantine edit. Okay, we know. We know what you're capable of. You can't hide that
That
from us.
bike, dude, that bike was so hard to ride. I don't know how I did a quarter of that stuff on that bike, but I mean it's really lightweight, you know. But the like anti bar spin technology and like it was super fun though, and I'm very thankful for that bike as well. They hooked me up and they hooked Jackson up too. Same with Squid Bikes. Thank you to Constantine and Squid Bikes. They really hooked us up with cool builds.
I remember like the day you guys released that Squid edit, where like all you guys had like painted your own bikes in some certain way. That was
a fun
I
video.
remember, like those
I'll have
were
you
like,
know, Chase,
iconic.
if you do compete, the prizes are quite dank this year.
The prizes are dank.
You might want to compete because the prizes are pretty dank, so you
Wait,
might want to
for
turn it
what?
on.
Wait, for what, Deacon? What's gonna happen, and what prizes are gonna be at? Wait, where? What?
I don't know, Pizza. Let's pass it over to J-Ball, the head leader of the Fixie Olympics happening soon this month.
Wait.
Fixie Olympics. Fixie Olympics 7 going down on November 16th and 17th. We have FGFS on the 16th, Trick Track on the 17th. Come to LA. We have many prizes to be won. Maybe some from a certain Ruff Bike Co. Maybe some from a certain Master Bike Co. Maybe some from a certain Tyrant Bike Co. And maybe lots of stuff from a certain Resist and Volume bikes. So
There will be another raffle? Wait, is there gonna be another raffle?
there is going to be raffles on each day.
Whoa.
So if you don't come to compete, come to win a fucking frame via money.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And play the fun games that we don't charge
That's
you to
true.
enter.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. And
I
you also get
believe
prizes
Chase
if you
was
win.
a finalist for Footdown last year.
Yeah.
Yes. There were restrictions. I don't know how you guys play Footdown over there. We can get pretty violent here in the 801. We've done like Footdown at like Lost Acorn Gallery, like the homies glass blowing studio, and we've done.
Say the homie like we
like
don't know who
games.
Parker is.
Yeah. Okay. You know.
Wow.
I was told we went to one of those events and we played Footdown, and I was told I had to be nicer because I like grabbed somebody's wheel and like stop them from pedaling. And I'll block you out and just like wait till you fall over.
Yeah.
You know, I get it, or I'll try to grab you. I would love to grab you.
Well,
But
the rule is hands on the bars.
okay, there you go. That's way less combative. I'm down.
That doesn't
Chase,
mean
I'll
that
have you know there's no rule against pegs and the spokes, though.
That's what I was
okay.
gonna say.
Oh, good heavens! And that's the other thing that crossed my mind at the last comp. I was like, these are really cool bikes all around me, and it would be some form of crime against the culture to just like jam my pegs into someone's wheels. Dude, are you kidding? That's crazy.
Man.
All right.
It's for the W, Chase. You have to think about it for the dub, okay? You can be as nice
Yeah.
as you want before, but it's for the dub
That
in
way,
the
you,
moment.
that way you can win a small prize.
That's not finalist mentality, okay? And what we want
Yeah.
here at the SMC Fixie Olympics, we want winner mentality.
Ruin somebody's bike for a pair of straps.
Yeah, that's wild.
Chase, I'm going to need some shout outs from you because we've reached our time and we're going to transition into the Patreon bonus episode where we will find out why Chase is so buff. But Chase, give us some shout outs. Give us some closing statements and thoughts.
Really quick before I forget, I wrote some things down. I don't have all of it in front of me, but I want to take 1 minute because I didn't post anything. I didn't say a word. Rest in peace, Ed Wonka. I didn't say anything because like sometimes it's weird, you know, when people who are like around the same age or like particularly idols, right? People you really respect and you know cherish the content they made. Like it was just weird to me, and I'm still, you know, I'm disheartened by it, and it's a huge loss to the group. But just rest in peace, Ed. That was really a significant part of the game, and like a huge motivator for I know Jackson. And I remember watching Wonka videos in Evan's basement, you know what I mean, and just being enamored with Grime TV. And so I appreciate that. I'm so happy it existed, and I'm thankful that I got to witness any of that.
Same. He literally influenced everything we all did.
Yeah, crazy.
In a
dude.
major way.
I can't even. Probably like in my brain, one of the cool like fixie superstars. Like when I was a kid, I was like, "That's a fixie superstar."
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
for sure.
Larger than life
okay.
personality.
Yes. Okay. So this is crazy. I'm gonna try to go fast. Okay.
Don't. You can
Shout
take
out.
your time.
Okay. There's a list here, dude. I've been pondering for quite some time about this.
J-Ball,
because,
give you
like,
permission. You're good.
Take your time.
Okay, we have a really small like scene. I want to thank Ruff Co, Master Bike Co, all of the local groups to Salt Lake, Beehive Bike Club, SLC Fixed. Shout out the BMX homies that let me cruise with them on Sundays when FOAD is busy. You know what I mean? Cam Floyd, Tate Ross Skelly, Brady Tweedy, all the homies that are holding it down over here. Shout out those guys. Shout out Matt Reyes, Adam Wells, Bigfoot, the SF Squaw, Hislow, Andy Sparks, Matt Bastard, SoCal Fixie Boys, 408, Jonathan Davis, J-Ball, Ninja Cats London, Nelson Bell, Soil Thornton, Matt Montoya, Matt Spencer, Congo, and lastly Jacob Ruff. Thank you. And you guys, thank you. Time out. Thank you guys for doing this and having this platform. Thank you for keeping track of all of the goings-ons, because there's a lot that's happened, and you guys are on the ball, and I am so thankful for you.
Me and Deacon are just here. Me and
I
Deacon
see
are
what
just
you
here.
did there. You said on the ball.
Oh, I
That's a
get it.
good
That's
one.
also valid. Yes.
That's a good
all-
one.
Fixgeararchive.com. All right. Thank you for listening to Off Track, episode 31, featuring Chase, SKRT Reynolds, Davis out of Salt Lake City. Thank you for joining us so much. It's a pleasure. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/suckmycog, to find out why Chase is so buff. That's the only... Jesus Christ, dude. Chill out. More topics will be covered, obviously, but that's the main one we're going to get to. Patreon.com/suckmycog. Thank you, Chase, for coming on the Off Track podcast.
Thank you guys.